Hello, everyone, and welcome to Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe. I'm a Forbes contributor covering social entrepreneurship and impact investing. And today we have two super fun guests. We have with us Brian Brandenburg, the Chief Marketing Officer and co-founder of the Salt Lake ComicCon, along with the founder and CEO, Dan Farr. Gentlemen, we're thrilled to have you on the show. Now, everyone, stick with us, hang with us now. We're going to have a great conversation with these two remarkable entrepreneurs who are really making a difference in the Utah community. The Your Mark on the World show is made possible by our sponsors, including Clean Energy Advisors.
Welcome to Your Mark on the World, bringing you another changemaker with champion of social good, Devin D. Thorpe.
Okay, Dan and Brian, welcome to the show. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you for this. Thanks for having me. And thanks for that positive introduction. You're making us feel pretty good here, so thank you.
Well, you're great. You're doing some amazing things with ComicCon. Why don't you give us just a little bit of a history, give us a quick history of what's going on with the ComicCon in Salt Lake, because this has been kind of a big deal. Gentlemen, tell us about ComicCon and the tremendous success you're having.
Well, it's something that we've just been fortunate to be a part of a great community. One thing that we found as we did research after the fact, we just realized what an amazing community that people are here in Utah. There's so many volunteers, there's so many people that get a level of excitement that's unprecedented that you would see in other places. And so we had an intuition that this was a place to do it. And after we did our first event, it was clear that this is clearly the best place to do it.
So how many people attended your first event, Brian?
72,000 people.
72,000 attended the first event. How many attended the most recent one?
About 120,000.
120,000. Holy cow. Holy cow. So what goes on at ComicCon in Salt Lake to draw all these people, Dan?
Well, it's about fandom. What we've tapped into is multiple fandoms. It ranges from basically sci-fi to fantasy to comic books, everything that kind of touches that fan nerve with people. We try to build an event that brings in a lot of celebrities and comic book artists and creators and T-shirt manufacturers and really just everything that's pop culture and fun for people to really kind of let their geek flag fly, so to speak.
Yeah. So Brian, who are some of the celebrities that have come to the event?
We have amazing people come. We had Chris Evans, who played Captain America in the Avengers and in the standalone movies. We had Mark Hamill, who is Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. We've had Patrick Stewart, who is Captain Picard from Star Trek, and many, many others. William Shatner.
What a fun.
Yeah.
Who else, Dan?
I was going to say William Shatner. We've had Anthony Mackie. We've had Ralph Macchio, who's the Karate Kid. We've got such a range of type of guests that we bring in. We look at things like 80s TV shows that were popular. Dukes of Hazzard, for example. Last year we had the Dukes, the three Dukes, come out and be a part of the show. And there's just one thing that's happened here is the fans are so great to the celebrities that it makes it really easy for us to book top quality guests because the reputation precedes us by a long ways.
Oh, that's tremendous. Now, the reason you're on my show is not to talk about William Shatner, as fun as that would be, but it's because of the incredible good you're doing. Let's talk a little bit about how you're using this platform for good. Dan, why don't you just give us a little bit of background about some of the things that you've been doing?
One of the things that just has come together pretty organically is the way that it brings the community together in a lot of ways. There's this force of good, this force of energy that has emanated from the event, and as we've done that, we've seen families coming together. We've seen, for us, we walk around, Brian and I love walking around the event and meeting the attendees, and we get a chance to see multi-generations of families coming together for the event. And, that's been, I'd say one of the greatest benefits. It isn't necessarily a charity benefit, but it's been a huge benefit of connecting people in a way that they were not necessarily connected before. Especially there's people that are maybe less social than maybe the rest of us. And I have a little of a unsociability about myself too. Sometimes I like to go into my corner, so to speak. So I kind of understand that with people, where if you don't feel out of your comfort zone, you get to go to Comic-Con and you get to be who you want to be, and it allows people to find common interests, and those common interests have brought people together in a big way. And I know we want to talk more about some of the other good, but this is just one of the things that for me was a big surprise. I didn't realize it would have this sort of kind of gluing effect within the community that has come out of it. And I love that. And then the other side of it, and this is something I'd say that Brian has driven more than I have, and that's why I think it'd be good to have him talk about some of it. But the outreach to the people providing services in our community, the police and the firefighters and such. And so I do think that that's probably some of the stuff that Brian should talk about. But I'll say, that's why I love giving him credit on that side of it, because it's really something that he thought about. Just saying, hey, we want to really help out the community in such a powerful way. And so I've kind of reaped the benefits of being associated with it, but really, I mean, the credit goes to him.
So Brian, tell us a little bit about the charitable initiatives that you've been supporting.
Sure. Well, I mean, the first thing to talk about is the opportunity with Comic-Con is that it's a celebration of pop culture, but most importantly, from our perspective, it's a celebration of heroes. And so what we've done is recognizing that it's great to be a fan of Superman or, Thor or Iron Man, who are all heroes on the big screen, but let's not forget about the heroes in our own community. And that kind of was the foundation of a lot of the efforts we've had with charity. So not only do we provide a lot of tickets for, people like the police and nurses and hospitals and first responders and so on, National Guard and the U.S. Air Force based here, this local. We also use our tickets and our brand to raise money, for example, for a fallen police officer last year, and cancer foundations like we do things for MakeAWish, we do things for Huntsman Cancer, and the common theme across all of this is heroes. And that's why we've been recognized by the governor. There's a day declared now, ComicCon Hero Day. We've got a declaration from the mayor and the attorney general, and it's all about celebrating heroes, not just the ones on the TV and the big screen, but the ones right here in our own community.
So how much money and tickets have you given away?
Close to $2 million at this point. We've been doing this now. This is our 5th annual and 4th year and 9 events. And so every event, and we're very open to people contacting us during the off season and say, hey, we've got a gala fundraiser. We provide some tickets and a bag of autographs, and could we please get a photo op with Chris Evans as part of the package and things like that. And so we use that to help them raise money within their own nonprofit. But we also realized, for example, like Ballet West, which I personally enjoy so much. I love the ballet, so does my wife. But you look at a lot of those artists that participate in that, and they really don't make a lot of money relative to their beautiful skills. And so, for example, we provided Comic-Con tickets for the last 2 events for all of the people that work there, so that they can have a little perk for bringing the arts to our city.
So, Dan, what are some of the organizations that you have been proud to support?
Well, Brian has mentioned, MakeAWish is one that is, really exciting. It's heartbreaking in a way to see these kids come in and they see their heroes, and we know that the future is not looking very bright for those kids that have come in. But to see the tears in people's eyes as that, for example, when we had some come in to meet Chris Evans when he was here, and we've had some come in for several of the other celebrities that we've had. And as they come in, first of all, the celebrities are, they just have an uncanny ability to reach out and touch those kids in a way that you feel like they've known them forever. And it's so impressive the way they do that. And seeing that happen and just, the emotion in that meeting is so powerful. And that's been something I've been really excited about. We've done some stuff, right when Operation Underground Railroad got started. We provided them with a booth and some of the early promotions with them, and they are really doing a lot of great good around. And one of the other things is we did have one of our celebrity guests that had come with us, Lori Holden. She had come to our event, and we made an introduction with them. She ended up going on a mission with them to South America.
You should tell, a lot of people may not know what it's about.
Operation Underground Railroad is about human trafficking.
Yeah.
They usually go with underage people, and going in and liberating them from certain situations that they're in. That's what that's what this group is doing, and such a powerful mission, and not just liberating them and then sending them out on the street again to help to try to figure out what's next in life. They actually help to bring these kids and get them back on their feet, and that's a big step, because one is to go and arrest the people that are creating the problem around them, but if they only take that step, then these kids don't have any way to have a future. And so the key is to give them a future outside of the basically the slavery that they've been in.
Yeah, it's a tremendous organization. We had Tim on the show. Great guy, great human being, and great program. So, Brian, what are some of the causes that are most exciting to you that you feel closest to?
To me, the first responders and the local services in terms of the police and the firemen and our military, and especially veterans. I'm a veteran, and my heart goes out, because it's really, in many cases, it's a job that doesn't get enough recognition for the contribution it makes to society. People tend to, if a first responder comes and saves you from a heart attack, then you recognize the value there. But it's things like 911 and other kind of, bigger events that people realize how important these people are, from the nurses and doctors and so on, that they're there when you need them, but people don't seem to recognize them as well when they don't. And so we really go out on a regular basis to say, we're glad that there's this infrastructure that is there in emergencies and when we need them, because it's kind of a thankless job sometimes.
The true heroes. Yeah. And, the other thing that Brian's been good about that way is reaching out to the educators as well. And that's another group of people that don't get the attention they deserve and the recognition they deserve. And so reaching out and partnering and providing opportunities with the educators to either right now any of the educators can come in and get discounts, but sometimes we actually do special deals with some of the different districts and schools where they can even get better deals than that.
And we've given away many tickets at no cost to the library systems around, because we feel like I ran across a study that said that kids that grew up reading comic books perform better in science and technology than kids that don't. And seeing that, it clicked for me. It's like, okay, all these superheroes, they're getting their superpowers from industrial accidents. Iron Man is using all this technology. Batman is using all this technology. It totally made sense. And so when we started talking to the libraries, it's like, this is great for education. It's going to help us, in terms of the STEM, initiative, comic books are the way to go, and they embraced it and agreed, and so now we're working very closely with them.
That's great. Well, Dan, you are a remarkable guy. You know, a lot of people look up to you. Who's your hero? Who do you look up to and admire as a role model?
Well, I have to say, I mean, this is going to sound a little cliche, but my parents, of course, have just been amazing people in my life. My mom passed away a little over 2 years ago, and my dad's still with us and hanging on and still setting a good example for us and the family. And that's something that I don't say lightly. I mean, they really did a lot to teach me really just to care about other people, and because they were the best examples of putting other people first in their lives. They would put us first as kids, and they were always so generous, and so that's something that's really important to me. And then, of course, I do see some of, I've been able to kind of develop a greater respect for some of the celebrities that have come as guests, to see that they really do have a concern for the people they're meeting outside of just this kind of transactional interaction, that they really do care about people. Because you kind of see both sides. You see some that are just there merely for a transaction, but then you see other people that sincerely give love and sharing to the people they're meeting, and they, there's one of my friends, Jess Harnell, that it's become a friend from the conventions. He's a voice actor, and he's spoken to me many times about how his goal is when he meets somebody, he wants to build them up. He wants to make sure that he compliments them on something special and unique about them, and it has to be sincere. It's not like he's going to just comment on, throw something out. And I've seen him do it time and time again, that he wants to build those people up, and they all leave thinking that they're the most important person in the world, which they should feel that way. And when I see this whole event coming together and seeing people get built up rather than feel torn down at the end of it, that's what this is about. Building the individuals, making them, building their level of confidence, giving them opportunities to feel good about themselves and showcase themselves, and recognizing them. And that's one of the things that kind of going back to the hero initiatives that Brian has driven, for us. We've had our press conferences where we brought out a lot of these first responders and military people, put them on stage with our celebrities. As we introduce the celebrities, we also bring in these local people that have served us, these true heroes, and we bring them up and recognize them as part of the process. And so, you can have an actor that plays a hero, but in the real life, it doesn't really, there's not congruity there, where many times we do see several that come in, and they really do have that caring and that love for the people. That's
great. It's great to see that contrast. Now, Brian, why was it important for you to incorporate a charitable aspect to this event? Because it seems to me you could have pulled off a successful event without it. Why was it important to add this?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a simple idea of karma. And like I live my life, it's not like everybody else, but I've always felt like that there's this invisible thing called karma, that it's not about I do something for you and I'll get something back from you. It's just like, if I'm a giving person or a giving corporation or entity, it's going to come back tenfold, and I don't have to worry about where it's coming from. It's just like you create that energy in your life or your organization, and it propels you forward. And so it's great to be partnered with Dan, because Dan is so focused on giving to the fans and make sure they have a great experience, and then we've integrated this idea of giving to the community and being available to help them whenever they reach out. We rarely say no to somebody who comes to us and asks for help. And we've been successful because of it. Yes, we have a great show, but I really believe the foundation and why we do this is because we're just focused on giving, and not worrying where it's going to come back, because it always does.
Yeah,
That seems to be the case in a lot of industries, right? That you give and it comes back to you. Now, Dan, what is your superpower?
My superpower is being able to surround myself with people that are smarter and better than I am. And I've seen that in so many ways. I can, Brian is the most passionate, talented marketer I've ever had an opportunity to work with, and being able to recognize that in him and the rest of our staff here. We have amazing people that really have huge passion for what they do, and they all go above and beyond the call of duty when they're asked to do something. And so I'd say my superpower has been able to identify and surround myself with amazing people.
Fantastic. Brian, what's yours?
Oh, that's a tough question. I would say I went to school in physics, and I am in love with the concept of energy, and obviously karma is about energy. But what I think my superpower is being able to interact with the communications and television and media, with our fans, with our celebrities in a way that, by focusing and sort of amplifying the positive energy of each of the entities and kind of getting this all to go in the same direction, we've become this life force that has, at this point dominated the city in terms of, the massive convention that we have. And it's really about, grooming and shaping that energy of all the moving parts in a way that we can all benefit each other.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, I really want to thank both of you for taking the time to be with us today. Dan, why don't you take just 1 minute before you go, tell people when the next event happens, how people can learn more about it and connect with you two personally.
Perfect. Best place to find information about our event and see the guests that are coming, the events that we're having, the panels and all that, is saltlakecomiccon.com. And the dates are September 21st to the 23rd this year. So it's going to be, we're shooting to make this our biggest and best event ever. We try to do that every time. Our lineup is turning out to be amazing. We've got more people that are coming that we're going to be announcing soon. And so if you go to there, or you could Facebook Salt Lake ComicCon, and you can also find a lot of information there as well.
Fantastic. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We wish you every success in using your influence for good.
Thanks so much, Devin, for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty, let's do some good. Clean Energy Advisors creates investment opportunities in the renewable energy sector that provide clients with predictable income, preservation of capital, and positive impact. Clean Energy Advisors is committed to providing clients with investment opportunities with both market rates of return and measurable impact.
Thank you for listening. This podcast was recorded via Google Hangouts on Air and is available at youtube.com/Devin Thorpe. Subscribe to this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes by searching for Your Mark on the World. Every weekday, Devin hosts a CEO, celebrity, entrepreneur, or other changemaker here on the Your Mark on the World show to inspire and prepare you to make your mark. Devin is a champion of social good, writing about, advocating for, and advising people who are doing good. He is a Forbes contributor who is a recognized thought leader in social entrepreneurship, impact investing, and crowdfunding. To book Devin as a speaker, visit devinthorpe.com. Learn more about Devin's work at yourmarkontheworld.com.